views on somebody, which may be right, may be wrong. By virtue of being in a position of leadership, you're forcing your views and you're making the other person see things through your lens. So, in my opinion, asking questions will build leadership at the other end as well. When the answers come from the other person, for all you know, it may be better than the answers that you give, because you have a framework which with which you really give answers. A person who answers may think may see things beyond that framework. So many a time, it's extremely important for us to ask questions rather than answers, particularly in today's context. Asking right questions will give way for innovation, creativity. In fact, otherwise, okay, if I belong to an age of paleontology and I'm imposing those views on somebody who probably belongs to this generation with brilliant ideas, in fact. So a good questioning technique will always kind of invoke great creativity, innovation. And in that sense, asking good questions is extremely critical rather than giving answers. Having said that, one word of caution.
Yes.
Sometimes you are expected to give answers. People want you to answer desperately. These are extraordinary situations.
Yes.
In such situations, you cannot say, hey, no, I'm going to ask you a counter question. That may not work. But predominantly, my experience is whenever I have asked questions, I have realized that the answers that I crowdsource are much more powerful than my own answers.
Wonderful. Good one.
Yeah. So second part of this,
Sure.
why are leaders very, very eager to give answers? There is an underlined assumption that moment you have a leadership position in any organization, people expect you to answer every time. It's a myth. It's not really. Number one. Number two, we as leaders are eager to kind of demonstrate our own skills, our own knowledge, and hence we tend to give answers, forgetting that people around us may be more intelligent, maybe smarter. By virtue of being in this position, it does not warrant. And also, people do not expect answers from leaders always. I feel it's extremely important for us to consider that. So what is the reason for this? I would like to dwell a little longer on this point.
Okay, sure.
See, where do people get groomed? Whether it is school, whether it is primary education, secondary education, what do we do in our system? Question bank with 10,000 questions and 10,000 answers. Person knows all these questions and answers by heart. He'll go to whether it is a competitive examination or a regular examination, reproduce whatever has been given in the question bank, and come out with quote unquote flying colors. What are we doing? You're restricting that person's vision only to the answers that are given in the book. So we have not encouraged this person beyond the answers that are given in question bank. So as parents also, forget about the corporate world, it's extremely important for us to make our children as creative as possible. It can't be textbookish, really. And now it doesn't stop when they come to a corporate world. As I told you, we assume that as leaders, we are expected to give answers.
Yes.
So if you really want to promote innovation, promote creativity, build the ability to question the status quo, I think it is extremely important for us to ask questions and also encourage people to ask questions. That's the culture we need to build in corporate world, in my opinion.
Wonderfully shared, Mr. Girish. In fact, if you could see that, as rightly told, it's a myth where people have a thought process that as a leader, I need to speak more. And I rightly told, in fact, for us to really, for motivating, for encouraging, and for, in fact, appreciating more and more our subordinates, we need to be more powerful in questioning, is what you're saying. Wonderful. So there's also another myth. In fact, what happens is there are two things. Okay, let me put this way. There are questions, but there are the difference between a positive questioning and a negative questioning. See, as you rightly told, we need to actually ask more powerful questions. And what's your view? We can understand, Mr. Girish, which of the questioning technique must be used by a leader? Is it more of a negative questioning or a positive questioning?
See, the obvious answer is, positive questioning, in fact. See,
Yes,
I'll start with an example of my real life, in fact.
please. Yes.
I started my career way back in 1993 in forest engineering, really, in sales and marketing.
Sure.
Those are the days when we did not have mobile. Email was also not there. A whole company had one email, in fact, really. So we had to fix up appointments by phone calls and writing letters, in fact.
Mm.
I had to go to one of the defense establishments in Kerala. So the process was I had to write to them seeking permission to go there and meet XYZ. Then they in turn send you a fax message confirming your appointment. And it's extremely critical for me to, important for me to carry that fax message without which they will not allow.
Mm.
So when I landed in Kerala, I realized, when I went to the customer's doorstep, I have not carried the fax message. Uh, okay, what to do? Then promptly, security officer refused to allow me to go inside. Then I see that was in the outskirts of Cochin. Then I had to request him. I didn't have a mobile. I had to request him to use his phone. He was kind enough to allow me. I called my manager. I requested him to refax, and I also requested this security officer to give his fax number.
Mhm.
He gave. To cut the long story short, that visit was fruitful. I went back to Bangalore. I was all along expecting my boss to really call me names and tell me how irresponsible I was. I shouldn't be really repeating all these things. To my surprise, he never spoke a word. I was quite intrigued, fresher from a small town like Mysore. I come to a big city like Bangalore with a lot of aspirations, come to corporate world, and nothing, happened. He was behaving as though nothing happened really.
Mm.
Okay. After a fortnight, I had to tour again.
Mm.
So I sent my travel request. He just called me. Two simple questions he asked me. Uh, have you carried all the necessary things that you're supposed to carry?
Mm.
Number one. Number two, where is the checklist? They sound very simple. He had the choice to shout at me, you last time, you did not do this, you did not do that. But simple question, two questions.
Perfect.
And it made me feel so guilty that still I had not prepared the checklist. From that incident, my biggest lesson was I have to prepare a checklist, whether it's a professional travel or personal travel. Even to this date, I do that. And there is an interesting book called Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande. I really love that book, really.
Wow.
So being positive always helps. So when
Mm.
I tend to be negative,
True.
other person's morale will get affected, really. So you can ask a tough question without being negative, really. That is what my then manager, Mr. Jaiti, did. He was very positive. With a smile, he asked me these questions. So that positivity is something which will not only boost the morale of the person, it will encourage him to do things in a proper manner. Really, that's you are sending a message. In fact, moment I'm negative,
Mm.
there is a kind of repulsion in other person. So it's always better to be positive. There's no doubt about it.
Excellent story, a real-time story which you're sharing. We're able to really understand the insights. In fact, as you rightly told, your manager could have asked you a negative question. Why did you not carry, or what is your problem? Not completely being negative or put you down. But
I have also come across managers who ask, your paid salary to be responsible in this organization, these all these things show the mindset of a leader. There is something called power distance. In a country like India, power distance index is as high as Saudi Arabia or Ghana or some of the hierarchical countries.
Okay.
In advanced countries like Germany or Austria, which is the least, power distance index is 13. What it means is the ability of the junior most person in the organization to talk to the top leader without putting any filter. So there are several parameters, but as a society in our country, the power distance index is pretty high. So it's something to do with the culture, really.
Well, wonderfully shared. It's a part of a culture, in fact, what you're sharing it. Good one. So wonderfully shared. So that with that next question, let me share with you. Now that you've highlighted the difference between negative and a positive questioning, we also have a question. In fact, yeah, as we rightly told that more and more positive questioning we ask, our roles and responsibility is to create more leaders and develop, right? And in that case, as a leader, what kind of questions should I ask? Should I get into more of a way back past oriented questions, talk to or ask questions about the past? Or as a leader, should I ask questions more about the future? So where do you think which will really help the subordinates grow more?
Past, present, and future, all three are integral part of our life. Really.
Great.
So while I believe that we shouldn't dwell in the past for a long time, it's important for us to go to the past, look at the failures, think about the lessons we have learned, and then implement in future. So it's extremely important for a leader to make sure that people learn from the past and ensure that the mistakes that somebody made in the past is not repeated in future. So coming back to that a specific question that you asked, it is very important for us again to be futuristic, in fact. So questions like, how do you think you will perform better in future, is a better question than, oh, last time, do you remember, it was pathetic, really. No, I don't want any such things to happen. Again, it borders, so you're taking a person back in the memory lane. But the same thing you can ask, I'm sure you would have learned few lessons, and I have implicit faith in your ability to implement your learning in future to avoid any, such consequences in future. So there has to be a blend. We need to look at the past to understand our mistakes and the lessons that we have learned, and make sure that we do not really repeat the mistakes that we made. So, but it has to be futuristic. Don't dwell in the past.
Wonderful. In fact, I am just remembering the thumb rule which I've written in my book, which I've written as analyze the past, but the discussion should be more about future. And
absolutely.
You are rightly highlighting, saying that it's more about the futuristic, but we need to remember what it is that we don't repeat again in future about the same mistake. Excellent. In fact, Girish, what you're sharing. Right? So Girish, now that you're having both, we have a mix, which is now we have understanding from you saying that the questions, one has to be more positive driven, second has to be more futuristic driven, and third, now there is also a myth is what we are sharing, right? The myth is it possible for me to ask questions to my superiors or to my stakeholders? And as leaders, in fact, I'm sure all the people who are there from different industry who are here, and they also have reporting authorities. So is it necessary that a leader only should ask a question to subordinates? Or if so, if to a superior, if he has to ask, what is it and how do you think they can ask? If you can just share your experience, it will really help.
Prakash, I think in this corporate world, we always have this dilemma, because some leaders use certain jargons. I'll give you specific examples, really. When you're brought in, they say you should question the status quo. You are the change. You have to bring about these changes. Moment you try to kind of suggest some change, then they say, oh, do you have to reinvent the wheel every time?
Correct.
These are completely contradicting.
Yes.
So we always have this dilemma. So coming back to the question, in fact, it's important for us to ask questions regardless of whether you're asking this to a team member of yours or you're talking to your superior. But what matters is how you ask questions.
Wow.
You know, the how part is extremely critical. So I keep asking questions to my boss, really. So here, there are two things. Leaders will have to create a space for their team members to feel comfortable to ask questions. At the same time, we need to learn the art of asking questions the right way. So, for example, whether it is my team member or my boss, I first set the expectations absolutely clearly. If I have to ask a sensitive question, my boss, I start like this, you know, in the interest of making an informed decision. I want to ask you a few sensitive questions. I hope you wouldn't mind that. When you go with this kind of a statement, the possibility of getting succeeded will be high. I wouldn't say 100%. See, it also depends on the other person, you know, how he or she takes it. But if you ask me, my success rate is very, very high. Because of the way we make this question as comfortable as possible for the other person, number one.
True.
See, number two, you know, as we grow up the ladder, we need to have this courageous authenticity. You know, many a time what happens, whether it is a meeting or a forum, we want to ask questions, we end up not asking this question because of some kind of a fear inside. So this courageous authenticity plays a very, very important role. It is one of the competencies as leaders we need to inculcate. Not very easy, but there is no other choice.
Rightly done. It's become a competence now as a leader that questioning, the art of questioning is actually becoming a competence for a leader. And we need to start inculcating and start demonstrating the competence.
Yeah, one more thing, if I may add to this. Today, coaching has become really the the buzzword in this corporate world. Really, so many coaches think that I can advise someone.
Right.
You know, very effective coaches will ask effective questions. See, it is the process where you try to unravel the potential of the other person by asking the right questions. It is not that somebody comes to you for coaching because they don't know something. Probably you as a coach, you know, need to put certain things on the table, help them unravel their own potential. So great coaches ask great questions, in fact, rather than advising someone. As I told you, moment you advise, the ownership lies with you. The agenda of your coaching is not yours. Agenda is always the coaches. And again, I repeat what I said, asking right questions will make someone a good coach.
Wonderful. An excellent sharing what you have done. In fact, a leader as a coach, and if you could say a leader as a coach, it's mandatory that a leader as a coach is also getting into a role of questioning techniques only. And only through questions we'll be able to trigger the thought process of the coachee. Very relevantly told Mr. Girish. So, Mr. Girish, it's been an excellent journey which you've been sharing. So now I just going to take 2 minutes of your time, and I would like to share or take a quick quiz with all our members so far who have been listening to you. So that I'll just take 2 minutes and be back again with you. And our members will also be asking open questions to you as well. Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah, so great. So members as well as the visitors who are here for the first time. So now is the time for our quiz. So we are here with a quick quiz question. So let me quickly share with you the winner for the last week of the quiz, so that also helps you and what in quiz we gain. So here's the winner for the last week's quiz, where Mr. DVS Fanindra, you'll be able to see on my background screen, is from the Indian Institute of Astrophysics. And he had actually rightly answered the question on the quiz which we've asked, and he had received the the Mask Leadership Online 360-degree feedback assessment as a leader. It is complimentary. So definitely we all are leaders here, and I'm sure the 360-degree assessment on 15 leadership competencies will be highly, highly valuable for us. So let's see this week who is going to be the winner for us for receiving the Mask Leadership Online 360-degree feedback assessment. So for the question here, it's going to be very simple. The question is, Mr. Yadugirish also spoke about 3 points with respect to questioning. So one, what are 3 major points he spoke? We spoke about which are the important aspects, whether it's negative or positive, future or past, or we also spoke about who do you think is a powerful question, a person who asks more questions or answers. So what are 3 exact answers? Write them in the chat box and let's see who is typing them on the chat box. The 3 points, the right 3 points as how a particular leader should be asking question, and let's see who is getting the answers right. So Mr. Krishna Shankar, focused questions. Okay, that's a view he's shared earlier. So the 3 points, so the 3 questions, what is it? I'm giving it as an option based. Is it a negative question or a positive question is more powerful, or a future oriented question or a past oriented question is more powerful? And one more is, are questions or answers, which is more powerful? So out of these 3, quickly type them on the chat box and let's see who is getting the right answer on the chat box and receiving the Mask Leadership 360-degree assessment for complimentary. And I'm waiting for the answers to come in. Wow, so there is Mr. Logesh was answered question and positive. Wow, 2 people, his answer, Mr. Logesh, excellent. Wow, the next comes is Ramakrishnan, creativity, futuristic and innovative. Okay, that's also good. So when Ramakrishnan highlights that, but very close was Mr. Logesh. In fact, I would see that question was for very powerful, positive questions, as well as, is it negative or futuristic question, Logesh? If you can answer that right and we give it to you. Is it, which is more powerful? Is it negative or future? Wow, wonderful. So it's more of a past or a future. Rightly told. So Logesh, you get an opportunity to get the Mask Leadership Online 360-degree feedback assessment for you. So Logesh, we're going to give you an opportunity quickly to unmute yourself and please do share. Is it possible to talk, Mr. Logesh? I believe you have unmuted you.
Yes.
Great, Logesh. So congratulations that you have won the 360-degree feedback assessment. So how do you feel, Logesh?
This is my second class in this training.
Wonderful.
I'm really happy with this section.
Good. So Logesh, if you introduce yourself to the other members as well as the visitors, it will be helpful. May I know more about yourself, Mr. Logesh?
Myself is Logesh, working in Mando Automotive India Limited.
Great.
In the quality department, I am working.
It's really good that you have taken this up. So since we kindly stay in touch with us and we will be sharing the questionnaire details to you. All right. And since you have answered the question right, opportunity to ask a question. Now that we are understanding that question is becoming more and more powerful, so you get an opportunity to ask a question to Mr. Girish. So Mr. Girish, I believe Logesh may be asking a question.
Sure.
You have a question?
We have the in appraisal. We try to ask our boss. This time we have opportunity for in promotion. Which way kind of we to ask the question to our boss?
Wow.
Okay, my view on this, Lokesh, do not wait for your appraisal. You know, it is extremely important for you to have a periodic discussion with your boss. So what I do is the moment my goal setting is done, I at regular intervals ask my boss, how do you find my performance? These were the objectives that we agreed. These are the delivered, objectives.
Okay.
So where do you think I can improve? So when I do it regularly, I don't need to wait till the appraisal time. Imagine a situation where at the time of appraisal, he gives you a long list. Lokesh, A, B, C, D are not okay, and hence I am not promoting you. So my suggestion would always be to have this discussion regularly. In our company, we have launched something called continuous performance management check-ins, where
Yeah.
manager and the employee have the opportunity to have this discussion and record it too.
Yeah.
I hope I answered this question.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Great, great. Wonderful, Lokesh, that I believe you got your answer. And definitely it will help, as he is talking about more of a constant, regular intervals when we keep asking our boss and about a quick feedback. Am I really performing, or what I need to improve will really help. Thanks very much, Girish. That was really great. And I believe
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Ramakrishnan would like to ask you a question as well. So, Mr. Ramakrishnan, we have given you an opportunity to unmute yourself, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, all.
Yes.
Mr. Yadugiri, it went well. We received very good insights from you.
Yeah.
In between, I would like to understand the specific difference between checklist and questions. Any specific?
No, checklist. What I meant during my conversation is the things that you need to do. You need to note down so that you don't forget. That is the checklist that you prepare. The question is, about some. You're actually asking question to someone who is above you, or your peer, or somebody in your team, about a particular task or particular thing that needs to be done. Whereas checklist is just a list, so that you don't forget.
Okay. Thank you. One more clarification I would like to understand. Many occasions are there. In what are the occasions one should not question? Based on your experience, so one should not ask question. Any situation is there?
I don't see any reason why we should not ask question in a particular situation. It depends. You can ask question. As I mentioned earlier, how you ask question, that how part is important basically. There is no situation which you need to keep your keep mum without asking a question. So it's perfectly all right, but keep one thing: more than what you ask, how you ask matters, because it directly hits the feeling of the other person.
Okay.
Very
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Ramakrishna, I believe we've got the answer as well. Very relevantly answered, Mr. Girish. It is more about the what, it is more about the how. How we ask the question matters the most, rather than what we ask. So that's an excellent message we actually can give. Great. So is there any other members who would like to ask a question or get more clarity? Feel free to ask a question to our guest, Mr. Girish, now. Always have one last question to give. Before that, I will also have to quickly summarize, so we will also do the same. So feel free, they can unmute, raise your hand, or you can also chat box the question, what you feel you would like to ask. So let me quickly, in the meantime, summarize what we have understood, and we also take it up. Very important is, as we summarize what actually we need to do, now that we are all so it's already answered this question. This awareness is going to give us constant growth. Simple question. Only awareness is going to give us a constant growth. Once we're aware, what actually gives us the constant growth is demonstrating what we are aware. And I'm sure, in fact, now Mr. Girish has shared his experience. He has given us an awareness about which is more powerful, whether is really, as a leader, my questioning is more powerful, or should I give more answers? And if I have to grow as a strong leader, our role is to get into strong questioning techniques. Number one, that was summary, we can do that. And more deeper we went is which we also ask, just asking questions isn't really going to develop a person or motivate a person. Our role is to ask as leaders is more of a positive questions will really help, is what in fact Mr. Girish again shared with us. And that's an example which his boss, he has told about the positive questions and how positive questions will really create an impact. And the next came, so it's more about positive questions. Is next is called the futuristic questions. So rather than getting dwelled into the past and then asking more about a past-based questions, why are you not able to complete the task? Instead, asking, as you rightly told, as what can be done to complete the task, which is more futuristic. As leaders, our role is to get into more of a future-oriented question, but we need to analyze the past, which is very, very important. We need to have data, is what in fact Mr. Girish has shared with us as well. So we are understanding all the aspects of questioning, and we also got a clear-cut answer is how can we also ask our superiors a question. It's mandatory that we ask. It's more of a culture which we maybe are currently that if I am currently working in a stipulated company and my role is only to ask questions to my subordinates, always we actually can ask questions to our superiors, and that's what Mr. Girish is highlighting. It's not a matter of what you ask, how you ask makes a lot of difference. Wonderful, Girish, for your excellent insights which has been shared to us. And I'm sure I'm going to share all these questioning techniques, in fact, with this particular summary of the mask leadership, elements of leadership. So we all aware that questioning is actually a skill, and Mr. Girish has told that questioning is a skill and becoming actually a competence in the today's corporate world. So the mask leadership book actually highlights all this as well, which is the productive habit is what a leader should have, PH. We have unproductive habit, which a leader should stop. And the skills, what we need to develop and possess is where we need to start continuously improve. One such skill is what we have seen today, which is called the questioning skills as a leader, which we need to start improving or start demonstrating ourselves. And the more positive questions we ask is where we see PF on the screen, which is called the positive feelings. And the more negative questions we ask is where you see NF, the negative feelings. In fact, the answer for a question of Mr. Ramakrishnan, Mr. Girish told very clearly, saying that we need to respect the feelings of the other people. So the feelings has to be positive. And the more and more positive questions, future-oriented questions we ask, I'm sure we will give them a clear-cut understanding of how do we sound positive. So with all this is where we are coming to an end of this particular workshop or the particular episode. So before that, Girish, I would like to ask only one question before the last question to Girish. Are there any other questions on the chat box? Let me just check. Or any of the members, have you raised a hand to ask any questions? Okay, so let me continue then. So members, let me share the people who are for the first time coming here and visitors. The Mask Leadership Community every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. is being conducted with an objective of creating more leaders, wherein we invite top management leaders from a corporate company to our community, and they share their life experience and success stories. And that's what we're doing. So that's when leaders create more leaders. But let me repeat again, it's very important. Awareness is where we should not stop. We need to get into demonstration. So for that, the next week, what are we going to do? Members as well as the visitors. Even if you have attended once the session, we have completed 18 episodes till now. Even if you have attended our session once, you're eligible to come tomorrow. So not tomorrow, the next week episode, that is on 30th of December, where we are going to have reflections completely. And we not understand that each one of us over here are all leaders in your respective company. And we are going to have an excellent reflection session, which will get more details about it next week as you come. And please ensure, please do write your learnings on the Telegram group, which is we have, and share your learnings on the Telegram group. So with that, let me come to a conclusion. So people who would like to wish to join us, it's a leadership community, please feel free. My mobile number is also on the chat box. you can send me a message and we'll be adding you all to our Telegram community where we'll be able to start interacting with different leaders of the corporate companies as well as people who are working professionals. So on that note, we have the one last question, Mr. Girish, to you.
Sure.
Girish, what is the message you would like to give to our community members here? One final message, if you want to share, what would that be?
Okay. See, communication is the key. I believe in one thing. It's extremely critical for us to keep communicating regardless of the situation we are in.
That is it.
Many a time, the relationships in professional life or personal life break down because of lack of communication. There is nothing on this earth which cannot be resolved. So I have, again, this agreement with my higher ups. I am going to suggest 10 things. For all you know, you may discount 8 of them. It's perfectly all right. Even if you consider those 2, that's going to be highly motivating for me. So set this expectation, have communication going with the people that you deal with, because we are not dealing with machines, we are dealing with people. So communication is the key.
Rightly said. Wonderfully shared, Mr. Girish. In fact, communication is the key. Asking question also requires, the basic is a communication skill, and you are nailing it to the point. So wonderful, Mr. Girish. And thanks very much for joining our community and helping our leaders of the community here to understand the power of questions, how they can go back and reflect and demonstrate asking questions to their subordinates, to the peers, customers, superiors. So let's go back, start experiencing the power of questions. And the more you experience is where the more we start gaining. And that's it. So thanks very much, Mr. Girish. And we would like to share you and final thank you video for the 45 minutes you have been with us. And it's really, really humble that you have been with us on this platform. So let's share a thank you video is here on the screen for you now. So thank you one and all for being in here. Thank you very much, Girish.
Thank you for your patient hearing.
It's been nice interacting with us.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all again, and meet you all next week again. Thank you.